Hello everybody, I'm back with another video. Hopefully this uploads pretty soon. I had some problems when I tried to upload my other videos, but hopefully this does well and it's good to be back. I'm just doing this because of the recent spark of the coronavirus being extended for another couple months, so I just thought why not just post a video for YouTube. This video we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite movies from the 70s. The 70s is probably by far my favorite decade of film. That and the 80s, I think those two decades have fantastic films with fantastic actors acting in them, and they're some of my favorites of all time, especially in the 70s. I really love movies from the 70s. Now, granted, I have not seen the Godfather trilogy, preferably the first two Godfather films because they were in the 70s. The third one was in 90. I have not seen The French Connection. I've not seen The Conversation. Many films I wish to see, and I'm sure they'll probably change this list as soon as I see them. But for now, this is my list for right now, and this is just my opinion. Um, please don't, please don't denigrate me because of my opinion. I firmly believe in the right to an opinion, and it's just a nice way of doing things. And this is just a lot of fun for me personally because I love talking about movies. Maybe a little bit too much, but that's just me. All right. So at number 10 is Dirty Harry, which came out in 1971. Stars Clint Eastwood, one of my favorite actors of all time. This is a great movie. This is a really good crime drama. You have a cop, Clint Eastwood, who plays Inspector Harry Callahan, and he is pretty much a pretty shady guy. You know, he's a cop of San Francisco, but he's not your typical cop. He's very violent. He's prone to fits of rage and anger against suspects, and in this case, he almost kills a man. But I don't want to spoil the ending because it's really good, and the actor who plays the villain, I can't remember his name. Oh, okay, never mind. I can't remember his name very well, but he's really good in the movie as well. And the movie is just it's never boring. The movie's never really boring that much at all. There's always something that's going on. It may drag just a little bit in the middle, but that's about it. There could have been like maybe 1 or 2 minutes that were cut out, but overall this is a really good movie, and it really does a good job of portraying San Francisco really dark way. And like I said, Clint Eastwood is great in the movie. It's probably my second favorite. That and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly being my favorite Clint Eastwood film, and probably my favorite film of all time. All right, at number 9 is Fiddler on the Roof. This is a personal one for me because I watched this when I was during the I first watched Fiddler on the Roof, 1971. When I was at the same time I was doing Fiddler on the Roof, the play, which was actually my first play that I ever did, and that play means so much to me, and I love it so much, and I miss doing that play. It was a lot of fun. I made a lot of great friends. It changed my life. It really did change my life. So I have some kind of a personal connection. But the play is really good, and the acting is great. Topol as Tevye is probably one of the best pieces of casting I've ever seen. He's fantastic as Tevye, the main character. If you've seen the play, you know what I'm talking about. You'll know what happens. It's a fantastic play. It really captures the human spirit really well, and the songs are, like I said, are fantastic. Particularly L'Chaim and If I Were a Rich Man. I mean, the songs are just so good, and John Williams's themes are just, and John Williams conducting the score is just incredible. John Williams is my favorite film composer of all time. Speaking of John Williams composed films, on number 8 we have Superman, 1978. I wasn't a huge superhero fan growing up. I've just now really started to respect superhero films, particularly DC. I'm more of a DC guy, not a Marvel guy. But when I checked out Superman, I was a little skeptical. My dad really loved the film, and then when he sat me down and showed me the film, I was so pleasantly surprised with this film. It's so much fun. It's so lighthearted, and Christopher Reeve, just like Topol, one of the best casting choices in a movie. You also have Christopher Reeve playing Superman, possibly top 5 best casting decisions of all time. He is Superman. He is the definitive Superman. He's fantastic as Superman, and I love him. So yeah. Number 7, All the President's Men. This is one of my favorite. Excuse me. This is one of my favorite political thriller. It's not really a thriller. It's actually more of a. It's kind of it's a detective story, but it's not really a detective story. It's it's written very well. The screenplay is very well written, and it does a tremendous job accurately portraying the discovering of events of the Richard Nixon resignation, or the events leading up the whole Watergate investigation. I don't know what I was talking about. The whole Watergate investigation that is explored in this movie is wonderful, so compelling, and I'm never bored. I am never ever bored with All the President's Men. It's almost perfect. However, the dialogue can be a little bit Hollywoodized in a couple scenes, but not for overall. It's very realistic. And Redford and oh my gosh, I'm forgetting names. Uh, Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman. That's it. As Woodward and Bernstein is incredible. All right, at number 6 is Taxi Driver, my favorite Martin Scorsese movie. This film is phenomenal. Uh, I mean, talk about performances. Um, this is probably man, I'm forgetting it. Robert De Niro's. This is probably Robert De Niro's best performance, in my humble opinion. This movie is so good. It reminds me a lot of Drive, from 2011 with Ryan Gosling. It's not the same thing, but it kind of is, and that's what I really like about Taxi Driver. I saw Taxi Driver before I saw Drive, and when I watched Drive, it really reminded me of Taxi Driver because of this psyche of a man who's alone and closed off from the rest of the society, basically in New York, and it captures the nightlife so well, and the music is phenomenal. All right, at number 5 we have Chinatown. Chinatown. Um, this is one of Jack Nicholson's best. It's in Jack Nicholson's prime. The performances are incredible, and the story in Chinatown, it builds. It does a really good job of scene to scene opening up this story of this man investigating this woman's um, abduction of her daughter, and the twists in this movie are incredible. And hands down, Chinatown has one of the best endings of all time. I was blown away at the end. This movie is a machine. It's incredible. Chinatown. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Number 4, one of my all-time favorite films, Rocky. I love Rocky. It's such a simple story of this man who's down in his luck and has this feeling of untapped potential, and is given a chance by luck to fight the heavyweight champion of the world, Apollo Creed. And you get to see his personal life, and you just see how much he struggles with having to survive in life, and wondering whether he has a place in the world. And it's really beautiful. And the score, if I didn't talk about the score, I mean, Bill Conti's score for this movie is incredible. I mean, and they only had time. They only had 4 weeks to do the score. That's really remarkable, how considering how good it is. But yeah, Rocky is just a film that really changed. It's really the film. If it wasn't for Rocky, I probably wouldn't be here talking about movies today, because I love it so much. It really changed my perspective of film, and who it's an inspiring film. It really is an inspiring film, because if you take the character Rocky and you compare it to Sylvester Stallone, who is that character, it really is kind of the same, and it's very inspiring because he wrote it, co-directed it, and starred in it, and he went and directed the sequels, which are also pretty good, especially Rocky 2. But yeah, Rocky, it's a wonderful film. Number 3 is Jaws. This is my favorite. This is my third favorite Steven Spielberg movie. I love Jaws. It's a fantastic film. It's so suspenseful. It's so suspenseful, and what's brilliant is that they don't show the shark that much. They really don't show the shark that much at all. And then like all great Steven Spielberg movies, it all builds to the epic climax, which I won't spoil if you haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen Jaws, I mean, come on. But yeah, Jaws is a fantastic Spielberg movie. Great characters. It's a very good character-driven movie. You have the three central performances by Roy Scheider as Brody, Robert Shaw, who's freaking phenomenal in this movie, as Quint, and Richard Dreyfuss as Hooper. All three fantastic characters in a fantastic movie. Jaws. Check it out. Number 2 is Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I am late to the game though. I was one of those people who did not grow up with Star Wars. I thought it was overrated, but when I finally discovered that I really love movies, that movies are my favorite art form, I thought I'd give it a try, and I'm so glad that I did because I mean, it's one of those films that you see for the first time and it's special. And Star Wars is that movie. So I love Star Wars for that reason, and being able to watch it for the first time with my father is something really special and I'll never forget it. I love Star Wars. And number 1, Alien, 1979. This movie is unbelievable. It's so good. The characters, it's a perfect film in my opinion. It's a perfect film. I love Alien from start to finish. The alien creature itself, the xenomorph, is the coolest fucking thing ever. I mean, it's such a cool looking alien, and they take the Jaws route by not showing it too much, and it's a suspense, and it's just so suspenseful, and I love it. Guys, those are my top 10 favorite movies of the 1970s. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Um, Comment, tell me what your favorite films are from the 70s or favorite films in general. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good day.